Hi there. Good afternoon. Cindy Dole here, and this is Home Wizards, your radio home for all things home, garden, and life improvement. This is where I love to help you improve your home and really improve your life. And it can be little things, it can be big things. Just consider this a place where we're going to get you going with the ideas, the techniques, the trends, and whatever it takes to, when you come home, just frankly, love where you live and then hopefully love how you live. So coming up on the show today, first up, I always love technology. I'm sure you do. Who doesn't? Maybe you're a little intimidated by it. It's kind of a love-hate relationship, right, sometimes? Maybe you're just pumped up by some of the new things that are out there that you got to have it. But are you overwhelmed on how to use it, if you will really use it? Not to mention, how do you choose it? Well, we've got a great expert who's going to help put that techno stress to bed and really find out some of the top tech toys that are the must-haves, what makes sense, what's it going to cost you, what's cool, and then how to incorporate it throughout the home. She's someone who's consulted celebs like Paris Hilton and Oliver Stone and Fergie, and so we're going to have some fun on electronics to really fit your lifestyle and your home. Then have you ever gotten that feeling, like I have, where that you just kind of have nothing to wear? You stare at the closet, and then you go, well, I have a lot of stuff. I just don't know what to do with all of it. You really don't have a clue how to begin. You don't really have outfits selected. And I'm talking to you guys as well as you ladies. Well, you're going to love this because we're going to talk to the stylist to the stars. She works on the show Rules of Engagement on CBS, among others. And she's a personal friend of mine. She's actually helped with my closet. And I had to share with you all that she does and all that she can do to really make us think about our closet differently. So it's going to end up being not only more organized, but you're going to have more time in your life because you will now have all the outfits figured out, whether it's for work or that special occasion or the beach, you name it. So that's coming up. In the second hour, we're going to shed some light on windows. Now, I got an email. I love getting emails from you guys. And a loyal listener wanted to know me, hey, I live by the beach. I want to get some new windows. What do I think about? Well, we're going to find out there's a group that does this, that analyzes all the different kinds and types of windows and what really is going to be best for your climate and for your needs. And so that's going to be very helpful for you, I think, in the second hour. And then also we're going to talk about citrus. You know, there's a lot of great varieties to try, and there's also this threat to our citrus that is making its way through Southern California. We're going to find out how to save your citrus trees from becoming victimized by the Asian citrus psyllid. The number is 888-KFWB-980, so do keep it handy. If you have a question or you'd like to join the conversation, feel free. It is 888-539-2980. And before we get to my first guest, I hope that you will follow me on Facebook. And here is why, because we keep the conversation going throughout the week, and it's a chance to share pictures and projects and so forth. But I also like to share in return, and you go to facebook.com/follow Cindy. And right now, we have something so cool happening at our home. We are watching a monarch butterfly about to come to life. And it all started a few weeks ago. You probably heard it. David Snow, who is a monarch garden specialist, he gave me one of those milkweed plants with the caterpillar. And it takes a few weeks, and then you see this whole process. So I've posted the photos on Facebook there. And it's so cool because it's gone from the caterpillar munching the leaves to then forming what they call the J position. That's when it's getting ready to almost do like a sit-up, and it forms its little cocoon, or chrysalis as they call it. And now it's in that little cocoon, and it's this neatest color of green. It looks like neon green, and then it has these little gold markings that almost look like something from a King Tut collection. And now we can see inside this very sheer cocoon the wings that are forming. And so, oh my gosh, it's so exciting. So in about another week or so, we will actually have a butterfly, and then it will fly away, and I'm going to capture it all, and I'll share it with you. But it's very fun to show those things on Facebook, don't you think? All right, well, so let's get to my first guest, who is all about technology and the kind of gadgets that I think you'd expect to see on TV or in a movie. So what is it about technology? I mean, have you been dreaming of having a new media room in your home that's really tricked out with all the special toys? Or do you have a home theater system that you've been wanting to have? Do you have a great stereo sound system? What are the gadgets? What's going to work on your budget? With me is someone who knows, after helping quite a few people in Hollywood, from the famous to the not so famous, to really trick out those spaces, whether it's the entertainment room or maybe it's a home office. And I thought she could help us do the same thing. Her Her name is Janna Robinson, and she now is hosting a new show that just debuted this week on the DIY Network. It's called Hollywood High Tech. So great to have you, Janna.
Thank you so much. It's nice to be a guest on your show.
You got it. So first tell everybody, because, when you think about technology, I think a lot of folks get a little squeamish, a little nervous maybe, but we're giddy at the same time, and we want to have it, but then we're maybe almost fearful that we're not going to make the right choice, or we won't be able to install it or use it right, and maybe won't even use it at all.
I'm sorry?
We may not even be able to use it at all. I mean, it seems like there's a love-hate relationship with all this technology.
That is very true. I think a majority of people out there are just completely and utterly confused. And by the time they grasp one fundamental principle, unfortunately, the technology companies have rolled out a new product. So it's circuitous, and the whole process starts all over again.
So we're set up to fail, it feels like. No matter what we choose, there's like something that's 5 years better coming out next week.
I know, it's very frustrating. It really is. And I guess part of my plight is to really kind of educate and empower people so they understand the core fundamental principles of lifestyle technology. So as technology continues to advance, they can advance right along with it.
Yeah. So what gave you the technology bug? I know that you were working in Hollywood with a producer, right? And then you ended up having to work on their home. How did that all evolve?
I did. Kind of an unusual situation. Well, first of all, I have some technology lineage, and I've always been very tactile. And truth be told, I think the women sort of rule the roost in my life and my home. And I had a very good example because my mom would end up fixing the technology, not my father.
Oh.
So I feel like I kind of had a head start on some level. But yes, I was working in the entertainment industry. In fact, I've been involved in the entertainment business since I was a young kid. And at the time, I was working for a producer, and he wanted to build this home, and he wanted to build a very sort of hi-fi home, and decided to go learn how to get his private pilot's license. So he was kind of gone, and I was left to keep down the fort. And unfortunately, at the time, it was like a foreign language to me. But I sort of got immersed in it because I didn't really have any other choice. And then as I kind of went through the process, I realized over the course of several years that there wasn't a real definable voice and presence, especially from a woman in this space. And, women were just as confused as anyone else.
Well, and I bet guys can be just as confused, but they just don't admit it,
Exactly. They don't admit it. And truth, I don't know what it is. I mean, we can call it a lot of different things, but, men love their toys, and they definitely seem to gravitate toward it much more so than women through the years. There's actually been an interesting, I believe it's from Forrester research. They've said more women are buying technology now than men. So to me, that's very inspiring and really cool. But unfortunately, we buy the technology, but that doesn't necessarily mean we know how to utilize it properly, and certainly utilize it to the best of our ability to make our lives more enjoyable and easier.
I think it's been said that even more women than men are on Facebook. I mean, women are just are doing all of this stuff, and maybe it's out of just wanting to do it or having to do it. And I was Googling around on this topic, and there's quite a few seminars focused on women and technology. So it's definitely a great niche, and it's something that everyone just no matter what your sex is, you got to get on board and just not be afraid.
Well, it's infiltrated our lives now.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter, man, woman, child, if you're, older, it just doesn't matter. It's part of our, the fabric of our everyday lives.
Yeah, my sheepdogs are using the computer every day. I mean, they're right there on it.
It's true.
Not really, but anyway. So when we come back, we're gonna really get into all of the things that you have been helping folks do with the different with the segments of the show. That, by the way, it looks like it's a great show. It just kicked off Wednesday, right?
It did. Yes, with Kevin Conley, who plays E on Entourage. So we were very excited to have him on the show. and he was extremely enthusiastic about the theater that we did for him, so it was pretty exciting.
Cool. Well, we want you to tell us, kind of give us a visual on what you did for his theater, and maybe give us some must-haves and some pointers as we are trying to create some more of a technology environment, more of a tricked-out home entertainment system, or maybe in a home office in our own place, all right? You're listening to Home Wizards. The number is 888-539-2980. Cindy Dole. We're back in just a few. Welcome back. Cindy Dole here. You're listening to Home Wizards, where we love to help you improve your home and improve your life. And, of course, that includes technology, right? Wherever you call your place home, you want to have a cool TV or have some great music to listen to and all that. With me is a woman who definitely has the golden touch. Her name is Janna Robinson, and she consults people on how to have a tricked-out home. And now she's hosting this new show on the DIY Network. It's called Hollywood High Tech. So thanks for hanging with us, Janna.
Oh, my pleasure.
So tell us for the first episode of the show, Kevin, tell us how you helped him with his entertainment center?
Well, Kevin had a sitting room / bar area that he really wasn't using. And so he really wanted a home theater. I mean, he was very enthusiastic about it. He was really very insistent on it, and had, some very interesting ideas, some which were great and others which were unfortunately impractical for the space. But what we ultimately did was renovate and transform that space into a real dedicated home theater room.
So this is Kevin Connolly. If you guys watch the show Entourage, that's who we're talking about. And so he kind of wanted a man cave area. Does that ring a bell? Is that what he wanted?
Well, I'm always very careful when I say man cave. I think, Kevin is very enthusiastic about films as well as sports. And so he really wanted a dedicated space that he could, have the best, most amazing experience in. And the theater that we gave him was pretty incredible, I have to say. He got amazing equipment and, just an incredible system overall.
And this was with a projector system, right, that you used?
Yes, that is correct.
And
it's actually a Runco projector, which is a phenomenal projector, and a Stewart screen. In fact, he initially wanted a curved screen, but unfortunately, great in theory, not right for his room. It was a small room, and the ceilings were only 8 feet high, so we ended up giving him a 9-foot Stewart screen.
And you have reclining seats, I understand. Motorized.
He has, yes. Every theater has to have. He really wanted these specific theater seats. So actually, Fortress has some fantastic seats, and that's what he ended up getting, these customized motorized seats.
All right. So that kind of sounds like an over-the-top, but definitely enviable entertainment room. But for most of us, we probably couldn't afford it. I mean, that was probably 6 figures, I'm guessing.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. Yes, the thing about the show is, and this is what's interesting, and I think it's a little bit of a misconception, none of the spaces that we have worked on are palatial estates. Certainly what's relative to most people, yes, it's a little bit more aspirational, but at the end of the day, people have basements. They have, studies, dens. Some people even have little pool houses, sheds. So it's not completely unattainable. Again, yes, we're using more aspirational type products, but seriously, this can be done on any budget.
Really?
You can do a variation on this.
Okay. Well, let's walk us through. How about on a small budget? What should we do right now to create the home theater experience? We have barely any money to spend.
Barely any money? Oh, no.
Okay, maybe of a few $100s.
A few $100? Well, a few $100. I mean, you can certainly get yourself a surround sound system. A 5.1 surround sound system is easy to come by. There are a lot of manufacturers that make it, both on the consumer side as well as, on the custom side. In terms of seating, you know what? That's really easy. Find your sofa. You can make that as cozy as you want it to be. Even with remotes today, you can use an iPad. You can use your iPhone. So you don't even have to go out necessarily and buy a remote, but there are remotes that you can purchase that you can actually, within 10 minutes, program it yourself. Logitech actually has a remote called Harmony, and it's simply by pressing a button. You know, the remote makes it simple, whether you want to watch a TV show, listen to music, or more. It's pretty intuitive, and you can do it right on the internet.
Now, I'm a Netflix person, and though maybe this takes us to the medium budget level, we have yet to watch the Netflix movies that we get streaming live through our TV. Right? We go through the whole DVD route, but we hear that that's going to be phased out because that's why they may be raising the fees on their videos because
for any good system, obviously you need some sort of projection. So whether you're going to have an actual projector or you're going to have a television, definitely something that's making a big splash in the marketplace is IPTVs. You know, our TVs are definitely getting smarter, and streaming is definitely the wave of the future. And applications, you know, like Netflix, you can listen to Pandora. I mean, there's all kinds of amazing widgets on these smart TVs now.
So we need a smart TV is what we need.
Yes. And truthfully, Panasonic, Sony, Toshiba, they all make them. So they're very easy to come by, and you know, they're easy even to hang. I mean, think about it. TVs are getting wafer thin these days. So it's not like you're having to hang something that weighs 200 pounds.
And there's also some cool ways in terms of the monitor itself, you know, kind of rotating, right? You aren't stuck that way.
Yes, well, there's all kinds of great mounts, but there's actually motorized mounts now. And so, I mean, it's pretty neat. I mean, you know, Omni Mount has 3 different motorized mounts that can handle anything from a 23-inch to a 55-inch flat panel TV.
Cool. That helps. That helps quite a bit.
It does help. It definitely helps.
Yeah. All right. So then if we had on a medium-sized budget to get the smart TV, a great mounting system, and maybe some good, we want some good speakers.
I mean, good speakers, there's all different types of options. Like I said, a 5.1 surround sound, you can find it pretty much at any price. Obviously, you know, the quality may differ a bit. The lower the price is, but that being said, you can still achieve that goal.
And so what would that budget point be for the medium?
You know, I think
a few thousand,
anywhere from $500 to $1,000.
Really? Okay. All right. And then let's say if we had up to $5,000 to spend, we really want to do something. Can we do something really cool with that? Up
to $5,000?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you can get a really amazing system for that. I mean, you could even purchase a screen and a projector if you wanted to. You know, there are companies like Epson that make pretty decent projectors, and they're pretty much plug and play. So there's very little setup to it. And, you know, if you're not in the market to buy a screen, there's companies that actually have acrylic paint that you can paint it on, I believe, in any size, shape. In fact, I used it in Josh Dumel's home several years back, and he loves it. In fact, I wanted to replace it with a regular screen, and he just doesn't want to do it. He's very happy with his painted on screen.
That's fun. That's a great idea. I mean, that's almost like the idea of chalk paint. I love that concept, too. Or, you know, really, you can go old school and just have a sheet. I mean, for goodness sakes, we did that outside on our patio.
You can absolutely do that.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you know, typically you go from a sheet and then maybe, you know, a little. And by the way, the goo is very inexpensive. I mean, talk about an inexpensive way to go. That's an inexpensive way to go.
Yeah. How cheap is that?
I believe it's like $100.
$100 for the goo.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean it's very inexpensive.
Okay.
And then obviously a step up from there is buying a screen, and there are all kinds of companies out there that sell screens.
Well, you have a lot of great ideas. We'll just have to check you out on the show to find out more, and I'd love to have you back on the show, Janna Robinson. The show's called Hollywood High Tech. It's on the DIY Network, and it's on Wednesdays, I understand, right?
It is on Wednesdays, and in fact, we have a new episode this Wednesday with Nancy O'Dell.
Okay.
And it's a great episode. She wanted a she-man cave.
A she-man, okay. All right, well, yay to girl power. You go, Janna. We'll talk to you again soon, okay?
Sounds good. You
Thank you. All right. Well, speaking of a little bit of Hollywood, we're going to get you all going with that closet. All right. Wait till you hear from this stylist to the stars, who's going to help us really feel finally that yes, you do have something to wear, and that you Guys, that's you as well as you girlfriends. Cindy Dole here, Home Wizards, and we're back in just a minute.